Big companies are evil. Shocking, I know.
I don't know if you've heard the joke about a science fiction author making a book called Don't Invent the Torment Nexus, and then a tech bro seeing that book and thinking, oh wow, I think I should go and invent the Torment Nexus. Today's story
This sounds like a veiled attack on Google at this point, but okay.
is firmly in that camp, and I have to start it off for you with a quote from GDC. You can say, okay, we're exploiting, child labor, or... And then the quote goes on. And this is from Roblox studio head Stefano Corazza. I think it's Corazza. I don't know. Sorry, dude. I don't know if there's much you can put after the or to make this one better. I mean, when you're trying to spin child labor, exploitation allegations as a good thing, then Mr. Roblox, you might be in a bit of a losing battle.
Now, I don't know. Works amazingly in Africa, especially those lithium mines. So, I'm kind of torn on this one, boys.
But you, the viewer, are not losing thanks to today's sponsor. Psych, there isn't a sponsor, but there is Bellular.Games, and that's doing a few things. The one angle is we're trying to actually dive into this story properly. Sometimes when you're doing an interview, what can happen is the interviewee just starts talking. They may do that a little bit too much. They may indeed talk themselves into a hole that they probably wouldn't have if they weren't speaking off the cuff. And by the way, just a little bit of an interviewing tip, the discipline to not jump in with follow-up and to just let it hang that extra little bit. Sometimes that can leave the interviewee just a little bit off center, and maybe a little bit of the truth could flop out, which I think is what has happened here.
That sounds kind of strange, but okay.
So, the context is that Eurogamer's Chris Tapsell recently had an interview with the Roblox studio head Stefano Corazza at GDC. Now, most of this interview was talking about their new AI-powered creator tools. Yes, of course, I mean, AI is going to be absolutely everywhere. But what these creator tools do is they can generate code, they can handle transitions, they can, auto-build 3D assets based on descriptions. Very much the sort of thing that one would expect to be talked about at GDC. But of course, Roblox is a company that is constantly in controversy. And that's because their audience is, of course, very much on the younger side of things. One could say that their audience is primarily the younglings. And as presented by this...
Yeah, that seems about right. Exactly like Fortnite, and exactly as Call of Duty, and exactly as a lot of other games. That's what makes them super profitable. Kids are literally the most profitable thing ever. Because when you're a parent and your kid starts yelling that he wants something, if you can afford it, you're probably getting it. So the pain of them constantly yapping just stops, okay? So kids have a lot of power in getting adults to buy things. And two, kids are a great audience because you know what happens when adults see something cool? Nothing. Maybe they share it with someone on Discord, probably not, But kids go to school. And then they instantly start, oh my god, you said this on YouTube, it was amazing, blah, 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 blah. And then then one kid shares it with literally 10 other kids, and those 10 other kids probably share it with more kids. That's why everyone wants an audience of kids. It's the most lucrative money bag in the universe.
Piece that was put together by People Make Games, I believe in 2021. It's an excellent piece of reporting that I wholeheartedly recommend you check out. Well, often those younglings are being presented with the constant marketing and the opportunity to make money for themselves by being Roblox content creators. Now, this obviously is a contentious topic, and it's definitely one that Mr. Corazza did not help with this interview, because when you say something off the cuff, I wouldn't say without thinking. I would say whenever your default words come out and they haven't went through that, that filter of, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't say these things. Whenever it just flops out like that, sometimes you end up finding yourself in the goofy position of trying to deflect questions around exploiting youngling labor. I don't want to say the word there that begins with C in case the old robots, get onto me and give this video a bit of a slap. But yes, you sort of try to get around that by simply suggesting that it's actually a good thing. This is where things are kind of interesting, because if you're going to ask me, what do I think? Well, I think that this is almost certainly a very ghastly, terrible thing. If I was knowing what I was like as a kid, if I was 14 and you showed me this, I'd be like, oh, Oh, hell yeah. I'm going to do that. Screw school. I am going to make stupid video games in Roblox, and that's what I'll do as a 14-year-old. I mean, hell, the other thing that I did when I was 14 is I worked in a chip shop, and to be honest, I think, I don't know, making a chip shop simulator in Roblox probably would have been more enjoyable to me. But again, that is me talking about what 14-year-old me would chomp at the bit to do. And the point probably is...
Sounds like a lot of bullying was had.
That 14-year-old me is not going to be totally reasonable in his perspectives and priorities because, well, I can speak from experience when I say that he was really fucking stupid. So what he said did, of course, lead to the fantastically titled article in Eurogamer, Roblox Studio Boss, children making money in the platform isn't exploitation. It's a gift. Amazing.
Why does he have to use the word exploitation? The idea that children can make money by doing a hobby actually sounds really enticing, especially for children, because you know they some children think that, you know, getting like $5 a day is a super big thing, and if you're a kid and you can buy something extra, it actually is. So yeah, this is not a hard thing to imagine that a lot of people want to make happen because it's free labor.
Let's do another quote from Mr. Corazza and the article. I don't know, you can say this for a lot of things, right? Corazza said. Like, you can say, okay, we are exploiting, you know, child labor, right? Or you can say, we're offering people anywhere in the world the capability to get a job and even, like, an income. So
How does this guy fail PR so badly? The first sentence was good, the second sentence wasn't good, and I'm assuming whatever this part is probably also not gonna be good.
can be like 15 years old in Indonesia, living in a slum, and then now with just a laptop, I can create something,
Bro, if he's living in a slum, he arguably doesn't have a laptop. Two, if he has a laptop, it's probably gonna get stolen.
money and then sustain my life. It does just bring up so many, I think, incredible points, and obviously massive economic inefficiencies that we are dealing with in today's economy. I mean, look, across the world, people are talking about productivity going down. People are talking about birth rates going down. Well, what if we had jobs for those births? Chimneys. Of course, chimneys always do need cleaning. That's one of the great many jobs that would be done. Obviously, we know that there are a great many opportunities in the artisanal mining sector, which is great because it has artisanal in it, and that means it's highly skilled, respectable work that people are very well compensated for.
True. I mean, well is a relative term also, keep in mind.
Really great stuff all around, and that we can have digital artisanal mining going on. I think that's just incredible. I may not there have been entirely serious. So you can very much see
I would be.
that the problem here is the or. Because I think there's a PR-friendly way to handle this statement, which is to more say, people have criticisms of our business model. We disagree. We think we're giving people an opportunity, and that's very valuable. They could say that. And if we were being a bit more charitable, I mean, that is clearly what the dude meant. But the usage of the word or implies an equivalence in the mind.
Well, no, you actually just don't ever say the first part, because that's really, really dumb. Whoever that guy is, I mean, hell, it's not like the kids are gonna read that and care actually what he said. They're gonna be like, money, 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 oh, I can become the next XQD, or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Of the speaker, and that is the fundamental whoopsie that he's been caught on. The facts of what they're doing haven't changed, but what if you thought about the bad thing as a good thing? Now, he does go on to say explicitly that while the average developer, of Roblox is in their 20s, quote, they have hired some teenagers that had millions of players on the platform. And again, the implication here is that because these...
The hell does it mean, hired some teenagers that had millions of players on the platform? What? Hell, I need further explanation. What does that mean? Are they like popular? Are they content creators? What exactly do you mean?
Teenagers were successful, they should be lauded for making the most of themselves through this opportunity that Roblox has given.
By the way, this is just a predatory thing. I don't know if he understands that or not. But this is effectively the same thing that Elon did with Twitter Blue when he said, "Hey, everyone's gonna earn money now from the ads." And there were a couple of people that actually did earn money from the ads, but most people don't. But most people want the opportunity. So there you kind of go. And this is the same thing in Roblox. Hey, look at this. Here's a 30-year-old kid. He made a map and now it's earning money. And then they're like, I could do the same. And you know, so some of these get successful. They sell. Everyone's happy, essentially, especially the people at Roblox.
Given them. Point here is that, an individual of a certain age, generally in the sort of in the eyes of the law, is of sort of diminished culpability for their actions. That's why if a kid does something that is criminal, well, they're not going to be sentenced, in most cases anyway, as if they were a full adult, because there's an understanding that, they literally do not have a completely developed brain. So I'm just going to go back to another quote. For them, hearing from their experience, they didn't feel like they were exploited. They felt like, oh God, this was the biggest gift.
You know what's the stupidest thing about the argument of legal age? And something that we can't really overcome as a society? It's the fact that, well, if people are getting stupider, shouldn't we actually push up the legal age? Because, modern day kids and whatnot, they are actually, like, dumber and less experienced in life. So, shouldn't we not push the legal age up? And when we push the legal age up, well, look at look at the social interactions that, 25-year-old liberals are having with each other. Where someone accidentally brushes your skin on the hand, and that is considered the hard R. And no, these are examples from real life that happen often. So, should these people also not count of the legal age? And this is constantly the problem with the legal age argument. Like, some people are just stupid, and they're, if their brain has developed at 18, yeah, I kind of doubt it.
All of a sudden, I could create something. I had millions of users. I made so much money, I could retire. So I focus more on the amount of money that we distribute every year to creators, which is now getting close to like $1 billion, which is phenomenal. Because yes, if some of the literal children that you're making profit from are happy about the massive profit they've made, then obviously that is a good system. It's the idea of being like, yes, I am pro gladiatorship because I, as a winning gladiator, obviously very believable. I mean, look at me, obviously I'd be a winning gladiator in the Colosseum.
Oh, this is a stupid example. Because no one's forcing the kids in Roblox. That's what I kind of mean. This is predatory because it makes kids want to do it. But technically no one's forcing them into doing it.
It's the idea of like the winning gladiator saying, you know what, actually, being a slave is fine. Fighting each other to the death is fine. Look how it's worked out for me. Now, at this point, the PR present during the interview, because there'll often be a PR person who's sitting there in the interview, I have got to imagine as soon as he said that, the PR person just thought, oh no, why have we let our executives out of their cage? But they did jump in and they added, quote, the vast majority of people earning money in Roblox are over the age of 18. Well done.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense, because the people who typically take advantage of children are not other children. They're adults. Yeah, it all suddenly makes sense, doesn't it? So this is not actually a good statement. It's just the fact that Roblox is played by a bunch of kids, and there are people who understand. Have you ever interacted with a kid? Do you not have a, niece or nephew or something like that? That you can get them to actually work labor if you're just like, it's so amazing if you do that, and they're like, oh. Admittedly, they pretty fast understand that you're actually exploiting them and they're doing work, not actually having fun. But obviously, it's the adults who are gonna take advantage of the kids in Roblox in more ways than one.
In Roblox are over the age of 18. Well done, PR person. You have done the bare minimum of not interrupting, but still attempting to fix the situation. And look, they are probably right. Yes, the vast majority of people earning money in Roblox are, of course, adults. But the dream that Roblox is selling is a dream for everybody. A dream that, of course, will get kids in there. And look, they may not be making money in Roblox when they're younger, but what if they will when they are older? And you could also say fundamentally, there is nothing from stopping somebody who is like not 18 from just picking up a copy of Unity, which, you know, you can get Unity for free, same for Unreal, and just making some stuff. And there could be absolute whizzes out there that do end up making something really, really good. I mean, if you think about games like, even for a joke example, a Flappy Bird, or some...
By the way, these examples are actually really easy and really deceptive. Because you need to remember, you know, if you're roughly averaging that 1 out of a million will succeed, well, Roblox has way more than 1 million players, so, you know, it's not actually hard to cherry pick these success stories, and they don't even seem cherry picked because there's a decent amount of them. So, yeah.
Other more simple games that have just been really sticky, like, you know, maybe a Geometry Dash, Vampire Survivors. Yeah, that is maybe something that a younger individual could make. I think the idea of, you know, kids learning to code, learning these creative things, I think it's absolutely amazing. And one of the things that did...
Coding is not creative failure, okay? Relax. All coders are losers. Prove me wrong. Pro tip, you can't. Okay?
Kick off our own industry was hobbyists who got access to a computer at school back when that was not a normal thing, or maybe people who, you know, got their Commodore or their BBC Micro or something like that and started programming their own little games. That
literally almost no one did that, okay? Literally almost no one did that. Relax. Maybe 1 out of a couple of million did that. Relax.
Is, I think, a marvelous, marvelous thing that I completely support. It's just that when we're kind of here in this situation, it is undoubtedly it's a pretty fraught issue. So how many kids are making content for the game that doesn't make money, but definitely does pad out libraries, pad out stats? That's maybe a question that Corazza is trying to sidestep here. He does suggest, though, that these kids are absolutely benefiting from their experience from Roblox, learning coding and being ready for their future. But with that, there is an unspoken truth that is clear that, again,
being ready for your future when AI is gonna replace coders first. But I absolutely love the idea that coders are trying to make AI, and the first thing that AI is gonna replace is jobs that require literally no human aspect to them, aka coders. There's a reason you're called code monkeys and no one respects you, because you're not human. Ta-da! I said it. I said what you're gonna do about it. Obviously, the best coders are not gonna be replaced and whatnot. The ones that can actually create inventive solutions for situations. But the average coder, get out. Get out. You're useless. Get out. ChatGPT is already absolutely destroying your ass.
And they, they're doing all of this for the benefit of Roblox in order to accomplish a dream that Roblox are selling them, because they're not learning Unity, they're not learning Unreal, they're doing everything within Roblox. So whenever Corazza says that, obviously the point is that, well, what if a lot of those people in their 20s making lots of money in Roblox, what if they in fact started learning when they were younger? And then the thing is that, sort of air gap that. Is that right? Is that okay? And I mean, it is. I fiddled around with Unity when I was like 15, 16. Very early versions of it, mind you.
Bullied.
I did the same with some little stick figure animations, that sort of thing. With YouTube as well. Loads of people start fiddling around with YouTube when they're younger. Look at Marquez Brown.
Dude, no one who started fiddling with YouTube when they were younger were coders. Now, maybe the new generation, some of them are actually coders, but again, 99.9% people are not coders. Man, this is why you never listen to someone who does coding for a living actually try and tell you things about real life. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't. And if you're not a coder, you probably have heard this and you understand this. Coders are different. Coders, when they hear coders are different, they ask, "What do you mean?" And then it's impossible to explain because they do not have the social skills to understand what the hell is happening.
Brownlee. I mean, do you remember that time a few years ago, his first video, or like one of his early videos when like he's so young, it just like spread everywhere on YouTube, and everyone's thinking, wow, why have you done this algorithm? But the point there is, like, you could say YouTube made this expectation for young Marquez and blah blah blah, and then, you know, they molded him into the man that he is today, and now they profit off him. Yet of course for Marquez that has worked out very well indeed. So when talking about this, you know, I'm not trying to just take a very, very narrow view.
I mean, this is the most narrowest view you can actually take, because this is borderline communism good, and everyone who makes money off of whatever you do is taking advantage off of you, okay? Yes, YouTube gets a slice of the cake that you create out of thin air for them, but they also pay the electrical bills, they host the thing, they do a lot of the stuff that's required to do this, they have the audience, okay? Technically, even though I don't like it, YouTube has the right to take money off of you if you upload a video to their platform.
I think that this is a broad issue because it's tied into education. Education is extremely important, and realistically, not all schools are doing an amazing job of that education. There's definitely a lot of cases where I learned more, right? Like between Total War Games, Wikipedia, and then going to, I suppose, more authoritative sources, I learned far more about history than I ever did in history class, and it sparked off a lifelong passion. So
I don't know, I think that's bullshit. A lot of the Total War games are not based on real things. A lot of shows about history are not based on real things. I mean, fuck, look at Cleopatra, the Netflix version where she's black. Yeah, have fun with that, okay? Gamers have this really, really bad side to them that not enough people, honestly, in my opinion, talk about. A lot of gamers think they're really smarter than everyone else because exactly of this. They have played Total War and they know what a phalanx is, okay? Or some other game and they have a niche, a very, very niche upper level understanding of some kind of, you know, concept that no one really cares about, and then they think they're smarter because of everyone else. That is actually damaging, because, you know, a gamer who plays history games goes out, actually meets someone who has, you know, studied, learned, and, you know, has done real history, and then they figure out, oh, wait, everything I know is either bullshit or a lie. Nice. Listen, games and anime are the reason why a bunch of people think katanas are great swords. Katanas are the literal shittiest weapon in Japan's history. They serve no real purpose other than cutting down peasants, okay? But from games and anime, you probably think the katana folded 200 billion times is the greatest weapon that the world has ever seen. It will cut through a Roman armor without problems. And like, the fact that ninjas are supposed to be powerful. Bruh, ninjas... A ninja would be lucky to win 5 out of 100 fights against a Roman legionary. The average one, okay? It's not even close.
So the way that games can empower our curiosity and, you know, just our interest, and in this case, skills, that is amazing. And look, if, let's just say I come across a CV in a few years' time, and somebody says, okay, well, you know, I do C#, I do Unity, I did some Roblox and Fortnite thing.
I'm a complete useless moron. Please pay me minimum wage and abuse me.
You know, when I was younger or whatever, you know, I'd be thinking, oh dear God, the youth are so far ahead of us. Because, you know, when did I first properly touch coding? University. Someone who's doing this, when did they first properly touch coding and programming related concepts?
That is such a stupid way to look at things, by the way. Okay? If you see a CV of someone and they say, oh yeah, I have done all these 100 things, and you're like, but he's 19. See, the reason why you don't lie on your CV is very simple, because everything you put down there that sounds impressive is going to be tested, because chances are it can be tested real simple. You know, you put down that you know more languages, Well, you're gonna be asked to speak in them. It doesn't matter if the person, if the interviewer doesn't actually know these languages. The fact that you stumble and can't actually do it or it sounds fishy is enough for them to be like, yeah, you're lying. Okay. Now, only an idiot would not lie on their CVs. I lie on my CVs, obviously. Why? Because it's smart. But I lie about things that cannot be tested. Or if someone tests me on them, they have no idea if it's correct because I just know what to say. That's what you do.
That's far younger, and their brain's more plastic, and they're probably doing so with that higher degree of passion than being, extruded through a university course. And I think in that there is a real pro. It's that challenging thing. The incentives here for Roblox are awful. And I mean, the headline of, of the Eurogamer article as an example. But I think that tools like this for kids to express themselves, that is absolutely incredible. It's like, I'd like to be a father someday. And, if I end up with a kid who's interested in code and is making, games, I mean, obviously there'll be things that I'd have to do to be responsible, in guiding them through that. But fundamentally, that would be pretty damn awesome. I mean, modding has always been a big part of games, and there's never...
Yeah, I'm done. That was Belliard News, boys. It is what it is. This was Quizzer Said Zen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Lie responsibly, aka that no one knows that you're lying. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.